Like most people, I'm often concerned about the level of nitrate in my fish tanks. Well, today we're going to solve that problem with an easy fix. We are going to take 5 potatoes and we are going to float them in our aquariums. Now, this is a pretty easy process, but in true Clean Water Boys fashion, we are going to make it completely overcomplicated, somewhat dangerous at times, and hardly necessary. But in the end, you will see 5 floating potatoes that will, over time, reduce the level of nitrate in your aquariums. As always, hit like and subscribe. We appreciate your viewing. Let's go watch. Clean Water Boys, let's clean it up. Okay, here we are. My local grocery store. Let's go get some nitrate killing sweet potatoes. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna try to pick out some ones that are already maybe rooted. I think that might work pretty well. Like this one. Okay, see this one? That one's perfect. Now let's find 5 more. That one's really cool. We're gonna try that one. And which one do you think is going to grow better? The sweet potato? Or the regular, like, I don't know what it is, russet potato, the brown, normal potato? I don't know. Leave a comment below and we'll find out. Luckily, I'm a bit of a DIYer. And I have laying around a 4-inch, that's actually 4.5 inch. Like I said, I happen to have a 4-inch hole saw just laying around. And look at this. This is, I don't know, I'd say pretty well perfect. So now, don't be crazy and go out and buy a 4-inch hole saw just for this. That would be ridiculous. Go out and buy a hole saw kit. That way you have numerous hole saws. That makes more sense. About 50 or 60 bucks. You could have your own floating potato. Not including the cost of potato and this and everything else. Anyway, back to the subject. 4-inch hole saw. Bowl is 5.5, 6. 6 inches. I think that's about perfect. 1 inch on either side. Yeah, good enough for me. I'm gonna place my bowl here, save as much as I can. Why not, right? I'm going to take a marker. This is a very fancy, as you can see, Crayola washable marker. I do have boys, I do have kids. I'm gonna mark around this bowl. Let's find out. Oh, it's actually pretty good. Okay, I'm going to do my best to cut this straight through in one shot. Now, if you'll notice, I have doubled up my layers of Styrofoam. So when I go through, I don't gouge the bottom or the top of the table. Obviously, don't want to do that. I do want this to look as presentable and nice as possible. Although I'm most likely the only person that will actually see it and care. Dremel, spiral bit cutter, speed all the way down. Okay, that's pretty slow. That's terrible. That is bad. Well, all right, as you can see, well, you can't really see, but yeah, 4, 6 of them. Sweet. 7 circles. And now what we're going to do is we're going to cut the centers out of them using the actual saw, because it just seems to work better. Well, I hope it works better. As you'll notice, I have a sacrificial piece of styrofoam under here. That way I don't ruin my table or anything of that nature. Now, we're gonna find the center of this. This is a center finder. Hopefully it'll work. That I picked up. This is actually for using on the lathe. Finds the center of a square piece of wood. And that should theoretically be our center. So, put that. Oh. It doesn't work too well, does it? We'll see if that works better. So, in theory, that's what we end up with. It should work. We'll see. All right, as you can see, we've got all 5 of these cut out. Hole saw was not a good idea. Terrible idea, really. I've got a piece of 100 grit sandpaper, and I'm just taking off the edge just to make sure none of the small styrofoam pieces end up in the tank. Okay, they're done. We got them. We got one, let's see. We got styrofoam donuts, people. I told you we would. I don't know what you were worried about. So we got, I think, 7 of these things. Yeah, I cut out 7 of them. I've got 5 potatoes. That means I got 2 extras. Make a deal with you. First person to leave a comment that they want one of these things, I'll send them to you. 1. Settle down. You get 1. Okay, so we learned a valuable lesson. Don't use a hole saw to cut out styrofoam donuts. Not a good idea. Skill saw, that worked out really well. The jigsaw, rather, that worked out really well. The 4-inch hole saw, not so much. So let's float some potatoes. Okay, let's take, we got our coffee stirrers here. I'm gonna take some of these and I'm gonna try to balance a potato into a circle like that. Simple, right? Here's the problem. These stupid coffee stirrers, no matter how hard you try, and believe me, I've tried about a dozen of these things, they don't go in the potato. Ugh! They don't go in the potato. So we're back to these. No problem. Whatever. Look at that. Like wood into a potato. Okay, there's one. Now, as you can see, I'm doing, I don't know, what is that? 2/3 of the way up? I don't know. I'm not 3/5. 15, 20 seconds. I don't know what it is, but it's up there. So, because I want the majority of the potato to be in the water, obviously. I want the majority of the potato to be in the water. And as you can see, it is. There you go. There's one of them. Let's do some more. Tres, cuatro, cinco. We have 5 potatoes. Let's hope they don't cinco in our aquarium. Let's go check it out. So we have 5 potatoes in their respective potato floating donut things. We have 6 aquariums, but we'll figure it out. I promise you that. Down into the fish dungeon, the fish room that has terrible lighting. So again, the reason that I'm doing this whole thing is I want to be able to do this. I want to go lidless on my tanks. I want to have no lids on my tanks. They just get full of slime and algae and it's all this other stuff. Yes, the water evaporates a lot more, but here we go. In the 36 gallon, we have 1 sunfish. We got our big boy koi. We have a zebra loach. We have, there is a couple of plecos in here. And I believe there's a dojo loach somewhere, but again, they can follow along this water bridge into the 75 gallon, and you can see the assortment of fish in there. So I never know which one is in the 36 and which one's in the 55, but here we go. The moment of truth. Does our donut floating potato donut work? It works! It actually works! Look at that! I'm so happy. It actually worked. We have floating potatoes. All right. Yay. There you go. This guy here is just going insane. I think I should go outside and plant this one somewhere. It's real. I mean, it's really going bananas in there, right? And the tetras just think I'm going to feed them. They're like little piranhas. Those guys are nuts. So there you have it. we have a floating potato. So we have one floating potato right now. You can see the other ones are not doing so well. So here's how I used to do it, okay? To do this, we would just kind of lean them. This is the bridge for the 75. This is attached to the aquarium there. You can see this is solid. It's on the light, and then it's on the back of the tank. And I just don't really like it. So this one as well, it's on the light, it's on the back of the aquarium. They can't move. I'm just not comfortable with the way they're sitting like that. So let's go get some more donuts. Well, I am just absolutely thrilled with the way these turned out. I think they just look fantastic. You can see how far it's hanging down there. It's like an iceberg, right? Only 10% of the iceberg is above water. The axolotls, there's the beet. Sushi's over here. Sushi and the beet are going to enjoy less nitrates in their tanks very soon. Here we have the tropical aquarium. See a dojo loach there, a little zebra danio. These guys are so fast. I love them, Mo. A little molly action there. She's pretty big, and she is definitely the boss of the tank. We got the 3-foot water bridge here down to where we see our blue gourami. This potato here is a regular russet potato. Pretty big, but that's okay. And I don't know, maybe if they're vegetarians, maybe they'll start kind of nibbling on the potato. Who knows, right? 75 gallon here with the assortment of pond fish. This is a cold water tank. You can see there we have a Chinese algae eater. Really nice specimen there. Dojo loach hanging out down here. A couple of comets, some regular goldfish. A lot of people call them feeder goldfish, whatever. We have some hornwort floating up there, and then some grass. The grass and the hornwort take the nutrients right from the water, so that's why they're just floating there. Works out pretty well for them, actually. You don't need to do any fertilizer. Down in the, I just realized I left my worm bucket open. Down in the substrate, because they don't, the plants don't need it. But if you do need to do that, it's kind of tough to do. You got to get these pills, like what are they called? Fertilizer pills. Put them in there. It's kind of difficult. There you go, Sushi. Man, I love those axolotls. They're just the neatest things. Where's the beet? The beet likes to hang out on a sponge filter back here. Oh, he's a good boy, huh? Good little fellas there. Once again, thank you for watching the Clean Water Boys channel, helping us out clean up the world's waterways. Of course, today was all about tank maintenance and keeping nitrates low in the water. Here, the potato floating donut things are about 3 weeks in. They are doing fantastic. I couldn't be happier. 75 is looking good. And the nice thing is now I can just float them wherever I want them. Some work better than others. I don't know why. They always seem to be pulling some nitrates though. And who knows? I mean, they're potatoes in water, so